Hello folks, it's Eamon McAuley, Ardoin boxing historian, back with another wee chat about boxing. I'm here today to talk about one of my favourite all-time boxers. He would be in the top five, maybe top three. Dwight Muhammad Qawi, formerly known as Dwight Braxton, the Camden Buzzsaw. Uh, Dwight was born in Baltimore, but he grew up in Camden, New Jersey. Dwight, as he was called then, Dwight Braxton, uh, was part of a large family, and all the brothers went to jail, including Dwight. Dwight done 5 years for armed robbery, and that's where he learned to box, in jail, in Rahway State Penitentiary. Uh, he had a very violent, brutal upbringing. As I say, all his brothers went to jail, and his brother Lawrence uh, beat their father over the head with a lead pipe, killing him. And boxing was to be Dwight's salvation. He came out of jail and he had no amateur experience, but he turned pro. He drew his first fight with a chap called Langley. And then in his third fight, he was defeated by Johnny Davis. Johnny Davis would actually go on to become a world-class light heavyweight who fought Michael Spinks for the light heavyweight title. But Dwight strung together a number of wins, and he fought Mike Rossman, the great light heavyweight champion. The 1970s produced many fantastic light heavyweights. It was a golden era of light heavyweights. Some fantastic fighters: Bob Foster, Mike Rossman, John Conte. So many great fighters around then. So Dwight was 14-1-1 when he had his first big fight, and it was a TV fight. It was going out live over America, and he was to fight Mike Rossman, the former champion. And Dwight Braxton, as he was called then, proved to be a revelation. He absolutely destroyed and walked through Mike Rossman, stopping him in 7 rounds. He gave him a vicious beating, and that propelled Dwight into another big fight, big live TV fight against James Scott. James Scott was another ex-con who actually done time in Rahway. Both of them were in the same jail at the same time. And yeah, once again, James Scott was a ranked contender and he was favoured to beat Dwight Braxton. But Dwight again showed his class, and he won a close-ish. He won well enough, but once again, he won a clear unanimous 10-round decision, and I got him into the top 10, top 5 in the world light heavyweights, and he got his shot against Matthew Saad Muhammad. Saad Muhammad was known for having thrilling fights. He was another great light heavyweight from the 70s, 80s, along with Eddie Gregory, Michael Spinks. There were so many of them. I'm just trying to think now, what did you call? Oh my goodness, what did you call? It'll come to me. Another great light heavyweight champion. But anyway, Dwight Braxton challenged Matthew Saad Muhammad and took him apart in 10 rounds. He once again was a revelation. He was very small. He was under 5'7". He had a reach of 71 inches, but he called himself an aggressive counterpuncher. And I loved the way he fought. He fought with a smile on his face, and he got down really low. He bobbed and weaved, and he had great quick counter punches. I just loved the way he fought. I loved everything about him. He was tough, teak tough, really tough. I'll tell you how tough. If you come home and found him in bed with your wife, you took the two of them in. That's an old Ricky Hatton joke. So I'll never forget watching the fight on World of Sport, maybe a week later. Didn't know the result, just really getting into boxing then. And I remember watching it, and I remember Hard Carcel. Dwight Braxton, 5'6.5" tall, from Camden, New Jersey, is the new light heavyweight champion of the world. A tough cookie. So, in the interview with Hard Carcel afterwards, Dwight said he no longer wanted to be called Braxton, that he had become a Muslim and his new name was Dwight Muhammad Qawi. So, Qawi defended his title against Jerry the Bull Martin and Eddie Davis, who was the brother of Johnny Davis, who Dwight boxed 3 times. He had that early loss, but then he beat Johnny Davis twice after that. And he also beat Langley, the guy he drew with in his debut. So, yeah, Eddie Davis also stopped Jerry Cooney in the New York Golden Gloves and was a decent fighter. Muhammad Qawi had him down, had Davis down in the first round and pounded him for 10 rounds, stopping him in the 10th. And then Dwight Muhammad Qawi accepted a unification fight with Michael Spinks. And he lost a close-ish decision. He had Spinks down, but Dwight says a cold that he had in training hampered him and he wanted a rematch. And they were to have a rematch in 2 or 3 weeks. I think it was 2 weeks before they were to box again. The whole thing fell apart. It was cancelled. And I do not know why. I've never heard a credible reason why it was cancelled. But anyway, Muhammad Qawi moved up the cruiserweight and went over to South Africa and took the title of Pierre Cruz in 10 rounds. Great victory. And he came back to America, defended against defeated Leon Spinks, hammering Leon in 6 rounds. He actually put his hands down by his side and started bobbing and weaving and making Leon miss, sort of treating him with contempt. But that was Muhammad Qawi for you. So, yeah. Then he, in the ring, after beating Spinks, he had a bit of an altercation with this new kid in the block called Evander Holyfield. And so they both signed up to box each other. And what a fight. What a fight that was. It still remains the greatest cruiserweight fight in history. And don't forget, the cruiserweight division was only formed in 1979. 79. And it's still to this day, 2004, it's still to this day the greatest cruiserweight fight ever. It would be in my top 10, maybe top 5 best fights ever. And Qawi lost a split decision. Holyfield threw more punches, but Braxton was cute, he was clever, he made Holyfield miss. And he threw his fair quota of punches too, but it was a great fight. And after that, he had a couple of good wins. After that. Let me see. Yes. He beat cruiserweights Ozzy Ocasio, former heavyweight challenger, and Leroy Murphy. He earned another shot at Holyfield. And this time Holyfield knocked Qawi out in the 4th round. And that marked the beginning of the end, really, for Qawi. He had a few fights after that. His very next fight after getting knocked out by Foreman, or by Holyfield, was to box George Foreman. Now, Qawi was under 5'7". George Foreman was a giant, a colossus, and he outreached Qawi. He was taller than Qawi. He was bigger and stronger than Qawi. And anyway, Qawi put up a good fight in fact, was leading in points after 7 rounds, but then he quit. He was just exhausted. Whether he hadn't trained for the fight or whether just Foreman's physical strength and holding, pulling him about, whether that was too much. But give a good performance. But he lost a split decision to Robert Daniels, who was a ranked contender, and then that should have marked the end of his boxing career. But like many other champions, he went on too long, having 13 fights and winning 9. The Qawi I loved, was a heavyweight champion. Was a light heavyweight champion. The Qawi I loved was a light heavyweight champion, was Braxton. The cruiserweight was Qawi. The light heavyweight was Braxton. I preferred Braxton. He was quicker, he was stronger, he had fantastic head movement. I learned so much. I tried them moves that Qawi done, that Braxton done, and found it to work for me too. Getting down low and jobbing up. I could catch a taller opponent with a longer reach. I could catch him with a jab by getting down low and jobbing up, and I learned that from Braxton, and it worked every time for me. Yes, just to finish, I see Carl Fratch and Tony Jeffries are doing boxing podcasts and social media. The difference with them and me is, while they concentrate in today's boxing and on today's boxers, I primarily focus on the old timers. I'm not in love with modern boxing no more. It's a circus. It's an ignominious mess. It's celebrity boxing, white collar boxing. I have been calling out the problems with modern boxing for years, and sadly now it's starting to come to fruition. Check out my talk on YouTube called Boxing RIP for more details. So that's me for today, my friends. Hopefully I will see you soon for another chat. So stay safe, take care, and God bless. Thank you.